Greetings, everybody. It is the Heritor, and welcome back to Rogue Trader. In the previous episode, we investigated the Space Hulk down yonder here on the screen. Oh god, we're moving. Well, we found some lovely stuff. A Forge Fiend, to name one of the lovely things. It wasn't that hard of a fight, thanks to Cassia. That was before the nerfs to extra turns, so I guess we got lucky in that we dealt with that before it would have been a harder fight. So, the patch is now in. I'm no longer recording ahead, so this, well, hold on. Due to time dilation and, wait. Never mind. I don't know, I might be recording ahead. It depends on when this comes out and how many recordings I've done since then. Probably not. At the point of recording this, the previous episode to come out was the previous episode, so in that sense, we're looking pretty good. Right now, we're just, you know, orbiting around this mysterious red star, and I think we're going to leave. Now, I know there's some things we need to do on our ship. There's a couple of characters we can talk to, but I don't think doing any sort of exploration is going to, affect that. So, we're going to do a bit more exploration, because I'm in a bit of an exploration mood. I am recently recovering from Nurgle's rot, so my voice is not sounding very good. It sounds a bit like a plague bearer's voice also, and the fact that both of my eyes have fused into a single cyclopean eye and there is a strange horn growing out of my forehead leads me to suspect that maybe there's some heresy going on with this sickness that I have, but aside from that, I'm doing pretty good. So we need to go up to here, to Janus, but there's all these other lovely little systems, which I'm sure are just filled with delightful, just truly delightful things. So we can chart new routes from here, which we're going to do. And then hopefully we'll be able to get a stable route. Okay, we can only get to Trinos. It's an orange route. Well, that probably means there's going to be danger. Well, reduce route difficulty scale to safe is going to cost 2 navigators insight. Fuck that. We're going forward. We don't need any of that business. Okay, you can do it like that, too. Alright. Warp travel. There we go.
Permission to report, Lord Captain. I keep receiving messages about strange behaviors in certain ship systems. All decks report the uncontrollable opening and closing of doors, gates, and airlocks. They behave erratically and do not obey the operator's commands. Regrettably, this has led to casualties among the crew. The tech priests have explained that these phenomena are caused by machine spirits, or by the machine spirits' irascibility, and have spent many hours chanting litanies to soothe their anger. Unfortunately, many crew members were badly injured before the prayers could stabilize the system.
That is a shame, but that is a loss, or that is a sacrifice I am willing to make. So, we're gonna visit the system, Trinos. I wonder what's gonna happen here. Ooh, unknown ships. Do we engage? Ooh, those are Dark Eldar. Or, they might be regular Eldar, actually. These might be Eldar Corsair ships. Or, like, Craftworld ships. Not sure. They don't look like the super regular Eldar ships. These have a bit more of the true fins. I think that's the, like, Craftworld ships, rather than the... Or is it the Corsairs? I can't remember. It's one of the two. Because there's distinct ship designs for, like, the standard Eldari, the Drukhari, which are the Dark Eldar, and the Corsairs. There used to be, like, a separation between Eldari and Craftworld Eldari, but that was always a weird one, because normal Eldari are the Craftworld Eldari, but whatever. Let's immediately go hunting. Hopefully nothing bad. So, yeah, guys, if you're enjoying this series, do drop this video a like. It, helps a ton. The Emperor wills it, also. Like the video, or you are a heretic.
Let us purge your enemies, rogue trader.
Ah, actual Chaos ships. So these are Iconoclast-class destroyers, which are, little baby... No, Iconoclasts... are not destroyers. That is, unless something changed in the lore. These were called fire ships before. These were the really small, really dinky ships, very unimposing. So the 3 chaos-aligned aka older Imperial model ships that Chaos had were the Iconoclasts, which were fire ships. These are basically just like swarm ships. You bring a lot of them, I mean, they're still like a kilometer and something long. So they're not small, but by comparison to almost everything else, they're small. Then they had Infidel. Or am I mixing this up? Because this does look like... Yeah, Infidel and Idolators. And Idolators were lance ships. They were also, I believe, destroyers. And then the Infidels were like torpedo ships, whereas these little ones were just kind of like standard run-of-the-mill, like macro cannons. I don't know what they just did to me, but they did something weird. It didn't seem to do much damage. How are our shields looking? Okay, we do have some less shields than before. Right now, what can we shoot? Absolutely nothing. They've positioned themselves quite well. We can blast them with our prow battery, so we can start by blasting this one. Okay, so its shields are gone on that side. So let's actually move just a tiny bit forward. And then what we can do is not do that, but we can do this. We can blast them from here. Okay, didn't like that. And then we can use our dorsal turret to finish it off. Okay, so that is one that is no longer a problem. And then we're gonna go right here. So we aren't done yet. There's more we can do. Give this one a good old lance battery. Goodbye. That was effective. And then we're gonna fly over here. Yeah, as I mentioned, these are not particularly threatening iconoclasts, so they did get that right. I don't think they were called destroyers. This may have been changed in, like, new lore. Okay, we actually took a fair bit of damage there, because they were hitting us on our side that had the weakened shields, so we need to be a bit more careful about that in the future. We are in the unfortunate position that there's not much we can do here until we move around. We got there. What if we go... No, I'm gonna move right here and then we'll see what happens. We're about to get behind him. Right now we're not using torpedoes. We're doing a purely DACA-based ship. Okay, we have nothing in arc right now, so we're gonna need to go like that, and then at least we'll have our prow weapons in arc. And our prow weapons, as we found out, are quite deadly. This lance battery can just one-shot these, which is hilarious, so... Bye.
A worthy contribution to Lady Theodora's legacy.
Unholy amulets, void heretics trophies, and we have ourselves a Stygies pattern macro battery. 4 shots dealing 21 damage each. That is better than what we had. Upgrade. So this can bring us straight into the upgrade. That is convenient. Saves a button click. We can go straight to here. That's really cool. Okay, Stygies pattern macro battery is a... Ooh, that's either port or starboard or dorsal. Huh? Is it dorsal? No, we can't do it on dorsal, so we're going to have to either do our port or starboard one. Let's do a port one. That's going to be the Stygies pattern. Yeah. We can move this to cargo. Don't think we need that. We also have... Oh, we can upgrade the RAM? I don't think we want to upgrade the RAM. What we do want to do is get ourselves our first talent here. Arc Augury. Flagship's next shot gains 2 extra range. That sounds really good. New heading. What does this do? When moving, the flagship may make its next turn at 90 degrees instead of 45. That also sounds really good. Reinforced shields. The chosen sector of the flagship's void shields are reinforced until it suffers damage. The reinforced sector has an increased chance of absorbing enemy attacks and loses only half of its strength when absorbing damage. That sounds pretty good too. We already have Swing Run, and we already have Torpedo Control. Warp Wave. Blows of the Immaterium cause an enemy ship to immediately turn 45 degrees or 90 degrees, depending on the ship's maneuverability. If the enemy ship has suffered hull damage, this abrupt turn additionally deals damage equal to 15 to 20% of the ship's missing hull for 45, and twice that for 90 degree. Does not affect ships larger than cruisers. That's concerning. What do you mean, does not affect ships larger than cruisers? I hope this means we can get ourselves a bigger ship. I've seen no signs that you can actually get a new ship, but Does this mean we have to use this dinky thing against something larger than a cruiser? Like, I already questioned if our dinky Lucis Irenaeus, I mean, it's not dinky, it's pretty majestic, but can it take a cruiser? Only one way to find out. I'm gonna take Arc Augury. I like to be able to snipe. Oh, we get another one as well. Yeah, we'll take new heading as well. Lovely that. So that should give our posts some options. Okay, each post can have 2 basic abilities and 1 ultimate ability assigned to it. And I guess the characters are going to have slightly different options there. Only 1 ability from each post can be used per round. Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, you have Arc Augury, and that is... It says... I'm still confused as to what the hell is going on down here with these symbols. It seems like we just get Arc Augury no matter what we do here, which is fine. And with Master of Maneuvers, we get new heading, which it seems like, regardless of who we put there, we're going to get new heading. Oh, and actually we could put Heinrichs here. I'm going to leave Abelard here. Did I... What is happening here? I'm confused. This is a very janky window. That's okay. Alright, 1 enemy fleet dealt with. We could repair. I'll repair 24 scrap. I've got... I should say in here. 152. I can afford that. We're going to do it. Okay, we got some planets to investigate. So we're going to head up here first. And we're going to swing around. What have we? Looks like a barren, dead world. We do have plasteel with 7. We already have plasteel. However, this is being sold? Or do we still have it? Should we get more plasteel? I've got 3 extractions left, so I'm going to use it. Now we have 12 plasteel. We didn't sell it, and there's a reason for that. That's because, I started on explaining why we're not doing some of the stuff in the ship, and then I forgot, because my brain is foggy. So, I started recording this episode previously, and decided, oh, we're gonna do some of the companion quests, so I did Argenta's quest, which is just a quest that involves talking to her in the ship. She tells us a bit about her backstory. And, it involved a lot of speaking, which made my throat burn, like, you know, the furnace of, Demon World. And, then I realized my microphone was on mute, because my brain was foggy. Then I was like, nah, we're gonna do something else. So we're gonna do that when when I'm not as sick. I mean, I'm not sick anymore, I'm getting better, but I'm still not better. And during that time, I checked out some of the things on the bridge. Not necessarily on the bridge, but I checked out our contracts. And I had a look at those, and we actually fulfilled a contract, which now my memory is remembering me as having done that, even though we haven't actually done that yet in this playthrough. So we're going to go and do that right now so that memory and action align for the most part. Still not always the case, but it'll be better. So, yeah, there's a whole system of contracts where you can basically give resources to various different factions in exchange for profit factor and possibly other things. All I've seen is profit factor, but we're going to have a look at the ones that we can fulfill, which I think we can do... Oh, we can level up Adira and Abelard. We should do that. What can Adira get? I don't care about the grand strategy things for her, so we're going to look at more Psi-related stuff. Obscured threat might still be good for her. Subtle manipulation. Well, this could be good too. Although, yeah, that's not that useful because she doesn't have very many damaging psychic powers. Stabilizing factor. No, but we have a thing for her that... The more veil degradation she has, the better it is for her. She still is debuffed so that her fellowship is 1 from the sewers. It says duration permanent. I imagine this is supposed to be duration until you come back to the ship, but that it's bugged, so her fellowship is permanently at 1. Boy, am I glad I did that on her, who doesn't need fellowship, and not on, say, my character. Or another character that needs fellowship. So that's gotta be a bug. Like, presumably you've taken a shower at some point, and you're not still covered in sewer-related... First time in combat that an ally becomes the target of the Psyker's psychic powers, that ally gains... Oh, yeah, that's good. 10 weapon skill, 10 ballistic skill until the end of combat. Why haven't I not taken that yet? Why have I not taken that yet? English. Alright, Abelard. So he is our arch-militant here. Do we have him with, dual weapons? Yeah, I think we do. Okay. Contempt for the weak. Or close quarters training. An arch-militant can use two-handed ranged weapons within melee range. Okay, that's actually pretty good. But not for him. Every round, the first single target ability used by an ally on the arch-militant grants +1 action point to that ally. Oh, that's awesome. Hell yeah. That is fucking cool. You just drop like a forewarning on him, and or Cyrene drops a forewarning on him, and she gets her action point back. Use voice of command, get 1 action point back. That's really good. Once per turn, but... Or at least, if I recall correctly, it's once per turn. Anyways, I think we need to go into the map. Or no, we go to the void ship management. Here we go. No, we don't go to the void ship management. We go to the contracts that we want to look at. We have shadowy dealings here. Vladimir Tokara has entered into a trade war with a competitor in the cold trade. Having lost several of his xenotech procurers, he is in need of a powerful and influential supplier of the forbidden merchandise. So we're going to need to find 2 xenotech. And then we can get 3 profit factor. Here, however, a favor. Lord Inquisitor Calcazar's servants have been buying up top-quality plasteel and transporting it to an unknown location. While the nature of the Lord Inquisitor's secretive grand-scale manufacturing operations remains unknown, the names of those who are assisting him are uttered with great respect. That seems like a good thing to have. Lord Inquisitor's respect. We're going to do that. So, done. Fuel for the Faithful. The Explorator Cognizance fleet is planning a holy expedition to an unexplored subsector. Their emissary Opticon 22 is prepared to buy a massive amount of fuel for their void ships. We will, of course, fulfill that as soon as we can, because Opticon 22 is our bro. We have some rumors to look at as well, so we'll quickly look around. We've already seen this one. We've already seen the unidentified void ship one. We also didn't figure out anything about this. Landed on a large uninhabited world in the system. We didn't find anything about a void ship. But again, they did mention rumors can just be rumors. The Stolen Suns. On extremely rare occasions, the Drukhari have been observed stealing suns in the Coronus Expanse. Such notorious raids wreak devastation across entire solar systems, but it is the frequency with which these malicious Xenos are depriving humanity of their valuable stars that raises suspicions. What could have prompted this increase in their rapacious activities? As I mentioned, these suns are brought to Komora, though I don't remember what for. Hotbed of Xeno heresy. A marauded void station in Langren's Belt, according to numerous testimonies, is serving as a base for a band of pirates who aren't above dealing with Xenos. The Navica. Thousands of refugees from Winterscale's realm arrived on footfall aboard the transport Navica, but found no refuge there, and set out for the desert world of Foulstone. So that's where we need to... Was that going to be here? In Trinitos? No, we might be able to fulfill this rumor. Footfall is still waiting for news from an ancient ark known as the Wasteland Wayfarer, which set off for distant stars in search of new worlds. The vessel's last astropathic message supposedly came from the Cineris Maleficum. Okay. Xenos on the rampage. There are whispers on Footfall about Xenos. those cursed enemies of humanity, carrying out raids on inhabited worlds and ruthlessly destroying Imperial outposts. I really like that we get a little snippet of the map here, when applicable. Angels of the Emperors in the Expanse. Travelers arriving on footfall bring with them numerous reports or rumors of the Emperor's blessed angels coming to the region to repel the Xeno threat, presumably the previous Xeno threat. The holy warriors are few in number and are fighting in the farthest flung reaches of the Cornus Expanse. Sounds like something that would be good for us to know. And then here, near the, also again near Langren's belt, a careless officer sent a valuable piece of cargo from a ship into a rubbish chute. The cargo may have been jettisoned somewhere in the 100 Dreams crossroads or Langren's belt. Okay, Langren's belt is there. All right. Well, back to the space map, where we'll be investigating Trinos, and we might find this refuge world of Foulstone. Not sure which one. Any of these could look like a Foulstone. Let's Eldar ships. I'm gonna save first. Hold on. F5 quick saves, right? Oh, thank you. Was it you, Robert? You told me F5 quick saves? I think it was. If it was somebody else, thank you as well. We'll see what we got to deal with here. So there should be, I think these are going to be Eldari ships. Possibly Corsair. Is this game going to make a distinction between the standard craft world Eldari and Corsairs? Let's
Enemy
find out.
contact! All hands make ready to
Eldari
unleash
Shadow
our fury!
Hunters. This doesn't tell me anything. There's two of them. Okay, they have fired plasma torpedoes. Plasma, sorry. Robert, if you're wondering what the hell I am continuously talking about when I say plasma, there is a, it's an old meme. It's an ancient meme. I don't know how old you are, but maybe from before your time, about a Dune fanfic. I don't remember the name of the fanfic, but it reached legendary, like, levels of meme status because of how awfully it was written. I don't remember the name, but just Google, like, and then John was a zombie, and you'll discover it. It's it's pretty hilarious. Okay, so we're gonna have some options here. We gotta avoid these torpedoes because torpedoes are bad, as it turns out. If I go here, I wish I could see like what the movement arc. I mean, actually, I'm glad we can't see what the movement arc is. So maybe if I go here, we can deal with one of these and then get some hurt onto the other one. So what we could do is immediately open up with our Mazoa Lance battery, just lasering the shit out of these guys. Okay, that dealt some damage. And then we can just fly right in between them, and that should, theoretically, I don't know if we're gonna be able to avoid these ones. Maybe if we go here, we can avoid them. Crikey. We don't need to use any of these right now. I think this is our best chance to avoid the torpedoes is by going this way. The problem is, yeah, this leaves us in a bit of a. Okay, I'm gonna move up to here. I'm so glad that you can like move and then do things. But that's not gonna be in range until we go up there. This will already, and we're not gonna be able to get a better angle. So I could just dunk these torpedoes. Well, that's one less. And then, theoretically... don't like that. We're gonna go up here. Oh no. Die? Oh no. This isn't good. But it's so yeah, it's got these holo fields on it, which we can see right here. So it's basically mirror image. Each attack made by an enemy has an equal chance of targeting either the real ship or one of its projections. Each time a projection is hit, the holo field loses one charge. So yeah, it's mirror image in D&D. Which which is why we missed with a lot of our shots there. And why it looks like there's a bunch of them. There's only one. Okay, we have 70 shields all around the board. I hope we moved well enough to avoid the torpedoes. I think we're gonna get hit by this one. Okay, we're about to receive a bit of pain. Thankfully, it doesn't seem like they have... Oh, would you look at that? We dodged it. Okay. This is going okay. We can do a swing run right now. Or we can do a new heading. Try and do a 90-degree turn here. Come around back, or we swing run it. Swing run's going to put us quite far away. No, we're going to use new heading. It's going to allow us to come up right behind these ships, right here. I'm going to, first things first, jump to here. And then we're going to go right up to here. It's a really cool ability. Okay. Not going to be able to target that yet, but we can use our prow battery, but we're going to wait till we turn to use our prow battery. In the meantime, we're going to use this one. This is our starboard one. This is the souped up one, right? No, 4 to 14. The other one's the souped up one. Unfortunate. We're going to finish this one off, hopefully. Excellent. That's one down. I'm going to pick off these torpedoes. Okay, we took out one of them. Then we're going to move right here and hopefully kill this one. It's very low health. It does have quite a lot of holo fields, so I'm going to DACA at it first to try and strip away its fields. Okay. Has only 2 holo fields left. We'll DACA at it again. Oh, well, that was that. Cool. Hopefully the torpedoes have lost their ability to do things. They have not. Okay, we actually have to deal with the torpedoes. They're independently operating. That's concerning. They'll blow up in one turn, so... yeah, we're fine. Ah! That went quite well. Threaded the needle.
They pale before our mastery of the void.
Wraithbone fragments. Add to cargo. Can't add to cargo from this screen. Unfortunate. Can't upgrade either, I guess because we didn't get anything. So it only gives you the upgrade panel if you get something that you can upgrade with, which makes sense. Okay. No more Eldari to be concerned about. So we'll begin our scan. Not explored. Monastery of the Order of the Hammer. I guess this is Foulstone. That looks like something.
Lord Captain, we have received a transmission from Foulstone. It was sent by members of the Order of the Hammer, votaries of Saint Cognatius, whose monastery is the only settlement on the planet.
What's all these things, then?
Or rather, it used to be. Some time ago, a transport vessel, the Navica, unloaded several thousand refugees from a planet belonging to rogue trader Winterscale. The Order of the Hammer has judged this invasion to be an act of aggression and is asking for your ladyship's protection.
Those people are victims, not invaders. Prepare my shuttle. I shall head to the planet and resolve this conflict.
As it pleases your ladyship.
Oh. Sector, Coronos Expanse. Region, Ascasar System. Location, Monastery of St. Cognatius, Foulstone. Material, chronicle compiled by the humble archivist, Brother Petricus. 611 days after the feast of the passing of Nicomedes Keefe, the champion of faith, disquietude marred the calm of the monastery of the Order of the Hammer. Countless tortured souls, steeped in fear, arrived on Foulstone in a star bark. A great apostasy has befallen their home, and turned them into abject wanderers seeking help and refuge. Their wicked and cruel captain, the owner of the Navica, had betrayed them. Once the unknowing souls in his care had made landfall on the planet's surface, he most deviously recalled his shuttles and left, thus ridding himself of his duty of care to the unfortunate lot. Not knowing how they would survive in Foulstone's grim wastelands, the Forsaken people came to the monastery of St. Cognatius, and there they surrounded its walls. They hammered their fists on its gate and implored and wailed, "Take us in! Protect us!" And what was once a place of serenity and grace was now full of din, disorder, and all manner of things despicable. The interlopers brought with them worldly futility and strife,
and mayhaps also the seeds of alluring blasphemies if fiendly heathens lurked in their midst. After a prayer, the prelate Hectarchius turned his eye to the past in search of instruction. Prelate Hectarchius recalled the first missionaries to set foot on Foulstone's vast wasteland, led by their zeal for serving Saint Cognatius, and those missionaries had received the blessing of Nicomedes Keith, the champion of the faith who had traveled with them in their star bark, to found in this place a humble and pure abode wherein to cultivate wisdom and piety. And Saint Cognatius, a man of great endeavors, a warrior and a wise artificer, never cowered behind the walls of a librarium, but stepped bravely into the darkness carrying light in the palm of his hand, and he commanded others to do the same. And not only Foulstone, but many other worlds in the Coronos expanse bear its imprint. And Prelate Hectarchius did welcome the interlopers warmly as his guests, but he did warn his brethren to keep their vigilance. The brethren and sisters of the Order of the Hammer came forth to meet the strangers, carrying water and protein victuals and medicine herbs and jugs of promethium. But the crowd came to blows over viands, and blood was spilt, and many were trampled or mauled in the stampede, some of them dwellers of the monastery. Then the warriors of the Order of the Hammer donned their flak cowls, inscribed words of praise to the God Emperor on their tactical visors, and went forth, ready to render service in battle. With lasguns and bolters they pierced the interlopers. With their chainswords and power flails they struck them, and a great and bloody harvest was reaped that day. God, why can't people just get along? But the interlopers too, scant though their armament was, and scanter their skill in battle, slew many among the monastery's dwellers, for great were their numbers, and greater their desperation. The monks fled beyond their walls, and rang the vox alarum, and shut the gate, and commanded the armed guards to keep watch over that gate, slaying any who approached. A quarrel broke out. The hungry and the sick lay siege to the monastery, begging for help. In their spite, they blocked the water collector and unpowered the generatorium. The faithful, in the meantime, were made ready to assist. And a miracle came to pass. The God Emperor sent his champion, his confidant, his right hand, the rogue traitor of the blessed House von Valancius. May the light of his grace remain upon it forever. The blessed rogue traitor, ... So we can, for dogmatic, slay the interlopers, so slay the refugees. Doesn't seem like a nice thing to do, but seems like that's what the ecclesiarchy's all about. I will gain 1 people. Oh, this is a resource, of course. Unleashed his, you mean her? Armed force upon the interlopers and monks alike. Okay. So we can pillage here. 15 profit factor and a bunch of cool stuff. Oh, heresy is tempting. Oh, no. Iconoclast would give us people. That's still something. Thereby all of Foulstone with them. So do we gain, like, dominion over this planet, then? Is that what's going on here? I'm gonna do it. We're gonna extend a veil of protection over the interlopers, taking them into her care, and thereby all of Foulstone with them. Humbly, the Order of the Hammer heeded the God Emperor's confidant, and unsealed the airlocks and opened the gate of its abode, and brought forth gifts of virtue to relieve the suffering of the ill-stricken. For prayer, the architects set to work, in accordance with the saint's teachings and the parameters set forth by the standard template construct. They erected spacious living quarters and sturdy fort walls for the planetary militia, and a spacious auditorium wherein to trade and store goods, and
a proud censorum within whose walls clerks and servo bondsmen would maintain order and keep statistical records. And a new, yet righteous, way of life came to Foulstone, and the people rejoiced, and all was good. I love the way that this is written. Alright. We've resolved it all. Oh. Only certain worlds, usually the most habitable, are suitable for establishing thriving colonies ripe for development. Completing projects and colony events can earn Rogue Trader unique rewards that cannot be attained through any other means. Projects are the backbone of colony development. Completing them requires resources that can be obtained by exploring planets and cosmic anomalies. Completing a project takes time. While you continue your travels throughout the Cornus Expanse, you will receive a notification on the screen when a project is finished, informing you that a reward can now be claimed. I didn't even know this was a thing. That's very cool, though. We can complete some projects here. This would give us Infernical. Ah, so this is going to give us, oh. Ooh. Ooh. All of these are really good. What's this? Flamethrower. Damn! That's good. That's a lot of damage. Thing is, I don't know who I'd give that to. I'm gonna go with one of these other two. That's very cool. So, the High Throne. The Ecclesiarchy lacks a capital in the Cornus Expanse from which to guide the faithful. If Foulstone ascends to the status of a cardinal world, the Adeptus Ministorum will ensure the prosperity of their new planetary stronghold. Heretics will tremble when they hear of an alliance between House von Valancius and the Ecclesiarchy. Okay. Basically, become the patron of a cardinal world? We would get 20 holy gifts, 2 profit factor, and 1 security. Whereas a celestial throne, okay, same effects, 1 complacency, affects the amount of profit factor produced by the colony and the speed of projects in the colony, increasing and decreasing them by 10% with each point of complacency respectively. Okay, that's not so good. Security is +1. Affects the ability of the colony to cope with negative events of its own. So that sounds better. But a Celestial Protector. No one in the entire Cornus Expanse will make a worthier guardian of a sanctuary of faith than the head of House von Valancius. A marvelous basilica will be erected in her honor in the world's capital city. It will be decorated with a grand twin statue of the Emperor and the Rogue Trader. Thousands of parishioners and priests will say her name in their daily prayers and bring her reverent gifts. That sounds pretty arrogant. We're going to do with the High Throne. We're going to back the Ecclesiarchy here. So look at this, 5% extra critical chance against chaos enemies. The other buff seems better, but I'd rather have my planet become more safe and secure than become complacent. So we're going to do the High Throne. St. Drusus sounds cool and all. We get 1,000 This is good. Let's read it anyways. The powerful, influential cult of St. Drusus is willing to take the young abode of faith under its wing. However, the Order of the Hammer accepts these gifts with caution, wary of the figure of Drusus eclipsing their own patron St. Cognatius in the heart of their flock. This would give +1 efficiency to the colony, affects the amount of resources produced by the colony, increasing it by 10% per point of efficiency. We would still gain the 2 profit factor and the 20 holy gifts and 1,000 reputation with the Drusians. That doesn't sound bad. Infernical is a really cool weapon. The only question is, who do we give it to? I mean, Argenta is a possibility. If there's enemies close to her, she just whips this out, burninates them. But the High Throne. It's just security. Or for St. Drusus here. I'm going to do this one. It's the gifts just generally seem better, and this is a small bonus. Like, I reckon we can get more of these bonuses so they'll stack. And maybe I'm making a mistake here. Feel free to say if I could have picked a better one, though I reckon there is no best one here. Just depending on how you do things. We're going to basically allow the Drusians to take control here. We'll still be in control. But, oh, it's going to unlock more. Oh, this is really cool. I like this. Colony management. We have a new one here that we cannot do because the first one... we need resources. And there's a lot of these things. So we can make Foulstone into, like, a proper colony. That's fucking awesome. Okay, so Foulstone is going to be one of our first colonies. I reckon the other planets, Janus and Kiavagama and everything, are also going to be colonies. What's this hellhole? Nothing to do here. Perfect. We do get XP every time we scan anything, so... no reason not to. Also, I think you can trade your scan data for something. Okay, nothing we need to use an extraction on. Perfect. Let's get the hell out of here. So, map of the Coronus Expanse. Is this going to be marked anywhere, or do I have to keep track of that Foulstone is in Trinos? Can't tell immediately. Telecos Epsilon is where Janus is, but we have all these other planets right here as well. So we've got some routes. We're going to see what the routes say. We can go to Omicron here. An uncharted system before we head here. Or do I go to Janus first? I think I'm going to actually go to Janus first. So that we can secure food shipments to Furibundus. So Footfall. Okay, it will, if we hover over it, we'll see Foulstone. Which shows as a colony with that symbol. Okay. We'll see if there's anything more. So we're gonna head here.
Lord Captain, I hasten to report the disturbing news brought to me by the machine spirits of the ship. The matter is extremely delicate and concerns Lady Cassia. You see, since her first day aboard, her presence has been a disturbance of the crew's way of life. If you'll allow, I have prepared a detailed report.
Deliver your report.
The first incident occurred immediately after our ship's departure from Urak 5. The Lady Navigator chastised one of the ship's runners, after which he went to his living quarters, killed his family, and then shot himself. Okay. The second incident was noted while traversing the warp. The Lady Navigator gave the pilots the wrong instructions, and the void ship was thrown off course for a matter of minutes. But this was enough for the forces of the Immaterium to anger the machine spirits, enough for them to start a fire in the service bay. After that, officers living near the Lady Navigator's quarters began to express extreme emotions: hysteria, apathy, euphoria, rage. This is quite detrimental to crew morale and performance. The last incident was recorded on Footfall. Around 100 living birds were delivered on board during our stay on Footfall. Each bird cost a hefty sum, but I have failed to discover their purpose and subsequent fate. I was also told about a conflict between the Lady Navigator and the Seneschal, alas with no details. If you like, you can ask Master Versarian directly. Things are even worse with Eldari. I intercepted a Voxcast in which she promised she would, and I quote, end that Cassia if she ever saw her again. If I may, Lord Captain, the Lady Navigator's state of mind worries me. She is self-contained and does not mesh with the crew at all, which is why everyone avoids her. Even senior officers can be superstitious. I fear that only you are in a position to talk to her on an equal footing and improve the situation, for the sake of the crew's safety and that of Lady Cassia herself. Okay.
Let's go to the bridge. This seems important. Let's talk to Cassia first. Actually, let's talk to Abelard first. That way we can get a scope of what has gone wrong, and then from there address things. Then Cassia can give her side of the... I feel like some of this stuff she doesn't even realize is happening. As is typically the case with her. So let's talk to Abelard.
Lord Captain.
I hear you and Cassia exchanged words recently. What happened?
And who brought this piece of news to you, I wonder? Then again, I have nothing to hide from you. Of late, the helmsmen have been going off course with increasing frequency, and the reports are full of contradicting accounts. The problem continued, even after several demotions were handed out, so I took it upon myself to investigate.
Good.
I was astonished to learn that our Lady Navigator has been amending entries in the ship's log, and the officers have been keeping silent on her orders. I immediately demanded an end to the outrageous conduct, and I reprimanded Lady Cassia in front of the officers. She greeted my words with silence, and then quickly departed. I should not have acted thus. I never even found out what drove her to do it.
Huh.
Lord Captain.
Good to know. That's concerning. What's up, Cassia? Let's also talk to Jay. Where are you at? Where was she? She was somewhere. There she is, lurking around here.
May the Exalted One protect you. Have you grown bored without our little talk, Cyrene?
Of course. I heard you had a falling out with Cassia. You even threatened to kill her.
So, Vigdis is snooping in on my Vox line. I wasn't threatening your navigator. I didn't even think about it. I was just relaxing in the good company of fragrant Amasak, sweet-scented Laho, and a handful of new friends from the upper decks. And right in the middle of the fun, the Lady Navigator swoops in and starts jabbering about how her head is about to split from the cacophony of colors coming from our cabin. Long story short, Cyrene, I had the misfortune of getting a taste of what your officers have been going on about. They say when the Arcelio girl becomes upset, everyone in the vicinity loses their minds and is overtaken by Agi. And it hurt like anything. I can only remember everyone huddling in a corner, wailing like klaxons. As for Cassia, I think Cassia was flustered by the state of our clothes, which were very meager back then, as you understand. Before I could get my bearings, the poor thing was gone. The whole situation was awkward. As for the threats, they were addressed to one of the girls I'd been foolish enough to invite to our little party. That Cassia used the confusion to pilfer a full pouch of Laho from under my nose.
Okay. I'll see you later.
Oh, I have no doubt you will.
So, they were what? Playing, like... There's no poker in, Or at least... Yeah, I'm assuming there's no poker in the 41st millennium. What's the card game that they play? Not the Emperor's Tarot. Is there a card game? Regicide? I mean, Regicide's like chess. I'm just trying to find an analogy for they were probably all playing something along the lines of strip poker if they were in various states of undress, as I understood from this situation. Strip regicide? I don't know. Strip tarot? That sounds like blasphemy. No wonder Cassia was pissed. Let's talk to her.
Words cannot describe how boring the bridge is without our stimulating conversations.
Okay, let's see here. I have heard rumors that you are not getting along well with the crew. Ooh. Panic flashes in her ruby-red eyes, and your heart starts beating a little faster while your hands go cold.
Not here. I'm begging you. Aren't noblemen supposed to discuss such things away from the servants?
Let us go to my study. No one will disturb us there. She's very concerned about being seen in a bad light. That's what happened with, when Abelard confronted her in front of the other officers. And yeah, Vigdis just misinterpreted a, communication with, Jay. I like that Vigdis is snooping on everybody for my benefit. I won't reprimand her for doing that.
Then lead the way, and I will answer all of your questions.
I hope this is voiced, for the sake of my vocal cords. It's not. What is it you wanted to talk about, Lord Captain? I have nothing to say to your unfounded accusations about my conflicts with the crew. I cannot recall my having a single quarrel with any of your people during my entire time aboard. Oh. Well, Jay was not actually threatening to kill her, so... What's the most important thing? The officers are reluctant to be quartered next to your chambers because of the constant emotional outbursts it causes them. Some even maim themselves and others. I already told you I cannot control my abilities. What else do you want from me? Will I be assigned a pariah chaperone, or will you put me in suppressing shackles? You have also been willfully changing entries in the ship's logbook and forbidding officers from reporting it to Abelard. I beg to differ. I read numerous books on Astra Nataris and can swear on House Orselio's honor that your officers are entering data in complete contravention of regulation, false terms, random distances between lines, spelling mistakes in even the simplest of words. I have spent the last few cycles correcting the latest log entries, and I thought it would please Master Abelard, as he is so fond of order. Okay. And yet the Seneschal did not appreciate my efforts, and for some reason called them an outrage. Even though mere days before he had been swaddling me in warm yellow words, I notice all of your people do this when they are expressing sympathy. I merely wanted to repay the Seneschal with the same courtesy. Perhaps he finds my friendliness off-putting. The messenger you rebuked butchered his own family and then killed himself. I haven't rebuked a single errand boy on this ship. I think I remember. A kind young man with a shy smile and skillful fingers, with too much rotten ochre on his shoulders. I grew tired of the disgusting color and advised him to lighten his burden by casting the weight off his shoulders. He did not come the next day, or ever again. Okay. I don't know what to make of that. And during the warp voyage, you gave the wrong orders, which led to the vessel shifting off course in the service bay to being destroyed. I saw something in the warp. Something vast, predatory, shimmering with indescribable colors. It came from nowhere and stared at the ship with hundreds of hungry eyes, right there in our path. I decided to change the course, while it is still possible, and did not want to sow panic. Would it have been better to tell the crew we were headed straight into a monster's gaping maw? And lastly, would you mind telling me why you needed 100 species of bird and what you used them for? Admittedly, I am at a loss myself. The day we arrived on Footfall, I sent a request to the ship's quartermaster and asked him to get me a songbird. But he never asked for clarification, and shortly before we left, I had a countless number of bird cages delivered to me, all wrapped in bright red panic and flickering tints of fear. There was a bird in every one. I was so excited, I thought I would have 100 friends instead of just one. They were squeaking so piteously I let the poor things out. I even fed them my breakfast and dinner, but the stupid birds would not stop chittering after bedtime. They were dashing around the room, smacking me in the face with their wings, defecating. I became angry, and suddenly they all started pecking at each other's eyes and attacking me. Then I became afraid, and they fell over dead. I do not think I want to keep pets anymore. God. I think I have heard enough. This seems like the right call. You have a kind soul, but have difficulty reaching out to people. I could teach you in the art of communication, if you like. That would be wonderful. My education on Urak 5 was cut short, but I had realized by then that the wisdom of books is a poor substitute for the wisdom of experience. Very well, since we are done with this misunderstanding, I would like to change the subject. It would only be fair for me to ask you a few questions, now wouldn't it? Cassia hesitates and continues in a less confident manner. Do not mistake me, I am not going to accuse you of anything. It's just that you are the most worthy interlocutor on the entire ship, and you are always so busy. What would you like to ask? I read a treatise by Isis de Mobius very recently, who claimed that subjects would never believe their ruler was better than the old one unless the old one had been a tyrant. No matter the circumstances, the low-born rabble had deluded about their prospects and rebel in favor of their base desires. What would you make of that? Okay, so Lore Imperium success gives us, your interpretation of this classical text is not entirely correct. If the subjects have grown accustomed to the ruling house, all the sovereign must do is refrain from breaching long-standing traditions, adjust unwanted laws as gradually as you would shift the bed of a flooded river, and no one will ever take your power from you. Yeah, okay. I don't entirely disagree with that. Commerce success gives us, on the contrary, the loyalty of subjects can be bought at a pittance. Lower a tax, throw them a festival, or feed the needy. A gracious gesture once every cycle will exalt you in the eyes of the rabble, as if you were his own blessing. And then a persuasion test, which we are not guaranteed to pass. These ones we are. But it's a 90%. Oh, it has always been my opinion that subjects expect two things from their sovereign, to abuse power and to bless their babies. Succeeded both, and boring essays become unnecessary. No, I'm going to go with the first one, Lore Imperium. Cassia thinks for a moment, and then smiles. Indeed, I was not wrong about your merits, or your ability to hold a conversation. I hope my second question does not confound you either. According to 20 tomes penned by the preacher Oistach Istefan the Forgotten, mercy and cruelty go through the world hand in hand, but people only flock to one pan of the scales. Would you rather inspire fear in your followers, or be magnanimous and choose awe? So coercion. I'm not afraid of acquiring a reputation for ruthlessness. I would rather crush a rebellion than condone one. Is that not the greater mercy in the end? Persuasion. I will exercise restraint and lenience in my actions. Excessive suspicion and mistrust harden the hearts of the people and turn them against one another. And then Fellowship 20. All of these we have a pretty good chance at succeeding, except for coercion, which I'm not going to do anyways. One must be a tyrant, a friend, and a gesture to one's subjects. What matters is that to clearly discern which role is required at any given moment. I'm going with that one. There is so much power in your words, power that makes me want to join you. I understand now why your subjects are eager to follow you. I admit I was afraid we were too different, and yet you helped me realize that I can be candid with you. Please, do continue. I must confess that sometimes I can hardly bear the burden the house has placed upon me. I feel I am not doing my best. Tell me how you, heir to a protectorate, can bear the responsibility for billions of lives day after day and not stoop under all the weight. It's not always easy, but I try to lead the dynasty towards prosperity by worthy means. Thank you for your patience, Cyrene von Valancius. You are helping me see the world in different colors. A novel experience for me. Our conversations hold a special place in my heart. Allow me to bid you farewell for now. I am headed back to my chambers to consider today's conversation. Okay, hopefully we resolve that. And, with time, the disturbances will stop. We can't afford to, like, take any sort of extreme action with Cassia, nor would I. Like, all of her explanations can be explained by a certain innocence. I wonder if we can actually clear
Lord
things
Captain.
up here. No, we can't. That's a shame.
Lord Captain.
Maybe we can clear things up with Vigdis? Or did you have something to say here? I would like to order the shipping and transportation of some goods. What does this do? Oh. Yeah, indeed. You can, Oh, this is great. You don't even need to go to these locations. And they're all sitting right here. I like that. I like that a lot. We have some reputation that we could, part with here. Void pirate trophies to the Imperial Navy. Let's drop these off while we're here. Hide untradeable. There we go. Void Eldari trophies. We're getting there. I like that. So we're at rank 4 with the Explorators, we're at rank 4 with the Fellowship of the Void, and we haven't gotten anywhere with the Caspalica mission, that we have gotten to rank 1 with the Jerusian. So we could get a Sanctified Staff at rank 2. It cost us quite a lot, but what does the Sanctified Staff do? Grants the Emperor's Wrath. Everyone adjacent to the target point suffers 1 plus psi rating. 1 to 1 plus psi rating times the Psyker's power, or Psyker's staff power level damage. It's the power level. Is this... with a power level of 5? I guess this is the power level? 5 plus... oh, plus the Psyker's Resolve. Okay, so this is like a scaling staff. Okay, it took me a second. That's pretty good. Yeah, that's very good. Do we trade a bunch of stuff to them to get this? They like holy gifts, so we'll hide it untradeable. We've got holy gifts for them. Let's see here. So it'll be 5,750. I'm just gonna give them a bunch of random things here, just and then once we get a bit closer, we'll just sell all of this. I think these are worth the same everywhere, so we don't need to worry too much. Oh, it's going to give us the total here. More holy gifts, lovely. Can we sort by type? Yes, we can. Lovely. Any more holy gifts to find? No. Okay, we don't have that much. Some melee weaponry. So we need 4,310. I don't even know if we can do that. Yeah, we can. We can absolutely do it. Okay, and then we'll do a one miscellaneous here. There we go. Sanctified staff. Yes, please. We'll be taking that. We'll drop this off. And this is gonna go to him. Or I take it. Get myself a damaging ability. Consign is cool and all. Well, I can't use it. This needs sanctic powers. Yeah, alright. Well, that covers where that's going. Charge staff, we'll keep that. Just in case someone can use it. So, pretty dope looking. Just a staff with a book on the end. Alright, back to doing our exploration. We're not going to do everything in Janus yet, but we will, since we've got a bit of time, explore around Janus and finish up the business there. So we're going to visit Telecos Epsilon. We should be able to clearly see which one is Janus, because it's a already established world. There it is, yep.
Lord Captain, according to the telemetry, the parameters of this system match those of Telecos Epsilon, home to the agri-world Janus that belongs to the von Valancius dynasty. We've received a Vox message from the planet. The agri-world's governor officially welcomes the rogue trader and reports that she has begun preparations for a formal reception to celebrate the arrival of the planet's sovereign. Your subjects are looking forward to your visit.
Alright, so we'll head to this gas giant first, see if there's anything that we can do extractions on that's worth anything. Otherwise, probably not. There's something here. We've discovered some trophies, some plasma batteries. Okay. Good. And we shall head over this way as well. An ice planet? Or a water planet? Or plasteel?
Worlds with extreme environments produce the finest astromilitarum regiments, or so I've heard. I am merely repeating what some guards happen to know, or some guards I happen to know have whispered into my credulous ears.
We only have 3 plasteel now. Oh, no, this will only give 3. Not worth it. We'll leave that be. Yeah, then we gotta go to Janus. But we will be doing that in the next episode, because I am going to have to head off to work before too long, so no sense in only doing part of it. So in the next episode, we will immediately start by dropping down onto Janus and exploring this agri world and hopefully sorting out everything. I predict something's going to go wrong. I predict we will encounter some a visit from our good old friends, the Final Dawn. They seem to be meddling in everything we're doing, so... But hopefully we'll be able to meet with Governor, who is supposedly a very capable ruler, and we'll arrange a trade deal so that Footfall can get its food shipments. That can then smooth things over with Vladimir Tokara. We'll then head back to Footfall. I will talk to the companions that need talking to. Right now that seems to be Argenta and Heinrichs. And then we will head to the Forbidden Quarters and do a little bit more on Footfall. I just wanted to take a stint off of Footfall, do our rogue trading business. And then, yeah, once we finished up everything on Footfall, we will continue our exploration and try and locate our other two missing worlds and see what else there is to be done. Hopefully by then also, Foulstone will be developing. I really like the colony system. That's very cool. Hopefully we'll encounter plenty more of those along the way. And, yeah. All right, everybody. That is going to be all. So drop this video a like if you have enjoyed it, and I will catch you in the next one. Heritor out, and the Emperor protects.